Throughout history, many leaders have attempted to achieve the impossible by pushing boundaries. However, none were as bold and creative as the legendary Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca. In 218 BC, Hannibal launched a major campaign against the Roman Empire, and the most striking part of this campaign was his plan to cross the Alps and reach Italy. This move was not just a military strategy, but also an epic tale of human ingenuity, determination, and the relentless pursuit of victory. So, who was Hannibal? Why did he choose to cross the Alps? And how did this arduous journey unfold? Let's explore the answers to these questions by delving into one of history's most daring military strategies. Hannibal Barca was born in 247 BC in Carthage, a powerful city-state located in modern-day Tunisia. His father, Hamilcar Barca, was a prominent general who had fought against Rome in the First Punic War, 264 to 241 BC. From a young age, Hannibal was immersed in the art of war and politics. His father, who harbored a deep resentment toward Rome after Carthage's defeat in the First Punic War, made Hannibal swear an oath of eternal enmity against Rome. This oath would shape Hannibal's destiny and fuel his lifelong quest to defeat Rome. Hannibal's early years were spent in military training and education. He accompanied his father on campaigns in Spain, where Carthage was expanding its influence. After Hamilcar's death, Hannibal's brother-in-law, Hasdrubal the Fair, took command of the Carthaginian forces in Spain. Under Hasdrubal's leadership, Hannibal continued to hone his skills as a military commander. When Hasdrubal was assassinated in 221 BC, the Carthaginian army unanimously chose Hannibal as their new leader. At just 26 years old, Hannibal was now in charge of one of the most powerful armies in the ancient world. The Second Punic War, 218 to 201 BC, was a conflict between Carthage and Rome, two of the most powerful states in the ancient Mediterranean. The war was sparked by tensions over territorial expansion, particularly in Spain. Hannibal, determined to avenge Carthage's defeat in the First Punic War, saw an opportunity to strike at Rome's heart. However, Rome's dominance at sea made a direct naval assault risky. Instead, Hannibal devised a bold plan. He would lead his army over the Alps and attack Rome from the north, a move that would catch the Romans completely off guard. Crossing the Alps was no small feat. The mountain range, with its towering peaks, treacherous passes, and unpredictable weather, was considered nearly impassable for a large army. Yet Hannibal saw it as the only way to achieve his goal. By taking this route, he could bypass Rome's naval defenses and launch a surprise attack on the Italian peninsula. The psychological impact of such a move would be immense, as it would demonstrate Carthage's resolve and strike fear into the hearts of the Romans. Hannibal's army consisted of approximately 50,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry, and 37 war elephants. The inclusion of elephants was both a strategic and psychological tactic. Elephants were formidable weapons on the battlefield, capable of trampling enemy soldiers and causing chaos. However, their presence also symbolized Carthage's exotic power and military might. In the spring of 218 BC, Hannibal set out from New Carthage, modern-day Cartagena, Spain, with his army. The journey to the Alps was long and arduous, covering over 1,500 kilometers. Along the way, Hannibal faced numerous challenges, including hostile tribes, difficult terrain, and logistical issues. Despite these obstacles, Hannibal's leadership kept the army united and focused on their mission. As the army approached the Alps, the real test began. The mountains loomed ahead, their snow-capped peaks a stark reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. Hannibal's soldiers, many of whom had never seen mountains before, were filled with a mix of awe and dread. The general, however, remained resolute. He knew that crossing the Alps was the key to achieving his ultimate goal, the defeat of Rome. The crossing of the Alps is one of the most celebrated military achievements in history. Hannibal's army faced unimaginable hardships as they navigated the mountain passes. The steep slopes, narrow paths, and icy conditions made progress slow and dangerous. Soldiers slipped and fell, while pack animals struggled to carry their loads. The cold was relentless, and many men succumbed to frostbite and exhaustion. The elephants, though impressive, posed a unique challenge. Their large size and weight made it difficult for them to traverse the narrow mountain paths. Some historians believe that Hannibal used wooden platforms to help the elephants cross particularly treacherous sections. Others suggest that many elephants perished during the journey. Despite these difficulties, Hannibal's determination never wavered. He led by example, sharing in the hardships of his men and inspiring them to keep going. After weeks of grueling travel, Hannibal's army finally descended into the Po Valley in northern Italy. The journey had taken a heavy toll. According to some accounts, Hannibal lost nearly half of his men during the crossing. However, the survivors were battle-hardened and ready to face the Romans. Hannibal's arrival in Italy sent shockwaves through Rome. The Romans had never expected an enemy to cross the Alps, and Hannibal's presence on Italian soil was a psychological blow. Hannibal's campaign in Italy is a testament to his military genius. Over the next several years, he won a series of stunning victories against the Romans. At the Battle of Trebia, 218 BC, Hannibal used his superior tactics to defeat a larger Roman force. The following year, he ambushed and destroyed a Roman army at the Battle of Lake Trasimene. However, his greatest triumph came at the Battle of Cannae in 216 BC. At Cannae, Hannibal faced a Roman army nearly twice the size of his own. Despite being outnumbered, Hannibal devised a brilliant strategy. He arranged his forces in a crescent shape, allowing the Romans to push forward into a trap. As the Roman infantry advanced, Hannibal's cavalry encircled them from the flanks and rear. The result was a crushing defeat for Rome, with tens of thousands of Roman soldiers killed or captured. Cannae is still studied today as a masterpiece of military tactics. Despite his victories, Hannibal was unable to deliver a decisive blow to Rome. The Romans, under the leadership of Fabius Maximus, adopted a strategy of attrition, avoiding direct confrontation with Hannibal's army. Meanwhile, Rome's vast resources allowed it to raise new armies and continue the fight. Hannibal, cut off from reinforcements and supplies, found it increasingly difficult to sustain his campaign. In 203 BC, Hannibal was recalled to Carthage to defend against a Roman invasion led by Scipio Africanus. The two generals met at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC. This time, the tables were turned. Scipio employed tactics similar to those Hannibal had used at Cannae, and the Carthaginians were decisively defeated. The Second Punic War ended with Carthage's surrender, and Hannibal's dream of defeating Rome was shattered. Although Hannibal ultimately failed to conquer Rome, his legacy endures as one of history's greatest military commanders. His daring crossing of the Alps, his innovative tactics, and his ability to inspire his men in the face of overwhelming odds have made him a symbol of courage and strategic brilliance. Hannibal's story reminds us that even the most impossible goals can be achieved through determination, ingenuity, and leadership. Hannibal's life after the war was marked by exile and intrigue. He served as a statesman in Carthage and later as a military advisor to various kingdoms. However, his enemies never forgot him. In 183 BC, pursued by the Romans, Hannibal took his own life rather than be captured. His final words, according to legend, were, "Let us relieve the Romans of their fear, since they think it too long to wait for the death of an old man." Hannibal's crossing of the Alps is more than just a historical event. It is a testament to the power of human will and the pursuit of greatness. His story teaches us that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with courage, creativity, and determination. Hannibal's legacy continues to inspire leaders, strategists, and dreamers around the world. As we reflect on Hannibal's journey, we are reminded that history is not just a record of the past, but a source of timeless lessons. Whether in war, business, or personal endeavors, the principles of leadership, strategy, and resilience that Hannibal embodied remain as relevant today as they were over 2,000 years ago.